Well, good evening and welcome to the Nothing Fancy Spiritualist Church. I'm back on duty, but you may find I've muted quite a lot because I'm coughing considerably at the moment this evening. Um, Tonight is a special evening of mediumship, and we have great pleasure in welcoming three exceptional mediums to work with us tonight. The first medium is Deb Clark from Western-super-Mare. Good evening, Deb.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello. I'm fine, thanks. Hello, everybody.
You've got even brighter stars behind you in your eyes.
Oh, yeah. I've had them for a while, but it's probably because I've turned the camera a bit, Ben.
I see. I thought maybe you're becoming showbiz.
Well, yeah, if only, eh? If only.
Well, excuse me
Poor Ben.
for
That's
coughing.
okay, Ben.
I'm not even going to describe this illness of COVID. It's other than to say I'm glad I'm coming out the other end at this moment in time. Now, the second amazing medium this evening with us is Peter Goddard.
Good evening, Ben. Good evening, Debs. Lovely to be with you. Looking forward to a fun-filled night.
Good. And finally, for the first time working with us, has been on for a grilling, is Philip Isaacs from Stoke-on-Trent.
Good evening, everyone. It's going to be I'm really looking. I'm nervous for tonight, but I'm really looking forward to tonight as well because it's nice to work with two exceptional mediums anyway. So,
Well,
No pressure there, guys. No pressure there.
No pressure. No pressure whatsoever. If I could mention to people this evening, because of problems with computer systems, if you want to talk to the mediums and identify with the people being brought through, you need to actually register with StreamYard. That's StreamYard/Facebook, StreamYard.com/Facebook, and that way we'll be able to see you by name. Unfortunately, I don't have the capacity at the moment to actually read the Facebook users. We're just going to say hello to a few people, if we may. So Eva Bjurstam saying hello from Sweden. Amy Joanne, hello Amy Joanne. Christine Murray from Bournemouth. And Facebook user, I can't look up who you are. Lulu, good evening, Lulu. Lulu can't sing, so my jokes were falling on deaf ears. Debbie White, good evening, Debbie, from Plymouth. And Jane G, hello, Jane. Shelley Hawkins, good evening. And she's saying hello to you as well, Deb.
Hello, Shelley.
You and that Shelley Hawkins. Good evening, Ben. Lovely to see you. Thank you, Vivian. I'm sorry I'm not 100% Vivian, but I'll do my best. And Lulu is saying good evening, everyone. A Facebook user, Deb and Ben. We can't identify you, Facebook users. Christine Murray, bless you, Ben. Facebook user, Shelley Hawkins. Evening, Peter and Philip.
hi.
Well, you could be more enthusiastic. That's Miss Shelley Hawkins, who runs Weymouth Spiritualist Centre and runs it very well. And always looking for exceptional mediums.
I think I'm down in Plymouth in next month.
Yeah?
Yep, down in the Plymouth area next month because, as you know, I work just about anywhere. Anywhere that'll have me, I'll work.
Yeah.
Don't mind. As car will travel.
Right. Well, I wish you luck in the Plymouth venue. Samantha Jane, evening, Ben, good to see you back. And she's saying hello, Deb, Peter, and Philip. Vivian Webster saying hello to you all. Audrey Duncanson, hello, Audrey. Good evening, and hope I felt better. I'm doing my best, Audrey. Hopefully get there in the next week or so. Fiona Rawson, good evening, Fiona, from Exeter. Christine Murray, hello to Philip. Lulu and Shelley Hawkins, evening, everyone. and Demi Cummings, hi all, Meg Cullen from Wicklow in Ireland, and Andrea Rees. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so what we'll ask, good evening, Ben, a Facebook user. Hello, Facebook user. There we are. So, Deb, what I'd like you to do, would you be kind enough to start by saying a quick opening prayer? And then this is Patrick Monahan. Good evening, all. Have a wonderful evening. Hello, Patrick. Then, if you want to go straight into a message, you're very welcome. Or would you rather Peter got going with the message?
You just have to wait and see, don't you?
See, look at he's biting at the bit.
Well, he can start.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's like, you know.
He's even. Do you stand up when you're working?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm always stood up.
See?
I always stand up.
Yeah, so does Peter.
Always.
Yeah.
The connection flows much more freely, doesn't it? When you
Yeah, well, spirit can use the rest of your body. You're not all scrunched up like this, are you then?
Exactly. Eva Buriston is saying she's sending me healing. Well, thank you, Eva. And I return that healing straight to you back as well in abundance. And so there we are. So handing the screen to you, Deb.
Okay. Divine Spirit, as we gather here today, we give thanks for bringing us here together safely. We send out our thoughts to those who are suffering, especially those in Ukraine at the moment and for the rest of the world. We thank you for our friends and our relatives and the time that they spend with us. We also thank you for our friends in the animal kingdom, who we sometimes forget, but who bring us so much joy. We now send out our thoughts to those in the spirit world, our friends and our relatives. We ask them to draw close and pass on their messages of friendship and of love. We leave this service in their capable hands. Amen. There you are, Ben, a very quick prayer. Oh, am I about? I don't know what to do now, Ben. Do I go straight into it, or do one of the others?
I'll give it to Peter if you like.
Sorry,
and give you a bit of a break.
Okay.
I'm muted. No, I'm not muted. Hi Ben. I've got a lovely gentleman joining me, a lovely older gentleman, and I want to say this gentleman was he's got a crown. He's got the crown is bald, but he's got a little bit of hair down the sides as he presents himself. And also, as he presents himself to me, I know that later on in life he either suffered with some mental slowness, either a bit of dementia, a bit of Alzheimer's, and what actually wasn't that took him. It was his heart condition that took him. Also, get about this chap that he really did make some good years, but he was a lot of fun. Great sense of humour about this evening, Patrick. A great sense of humour about this chap as well. He's just gives me lots and lots of love and good humour. This would be he is a grandfather, but his child is here, so he comes through on a father link. Just wondering if anybody out there can take that. Any kind of information. I'll keep giving some information this is a hard working man. He takes me to but an old fashioned man. He tells me he's quite old fashioned because he shows me lots of things that leads me to believe he is that kind of guy. Excuse me. I've got a cough with this chap. So obviously some my dad. I think that may be my dad. Is that Samantha Jane? I think it may be your dad. If you can take that information, that's great. Would you also could I mean? Someone's going to have to help me with the reading here, Ben. Sorry, mate. You know I struggle with that. The issue I've got is, sorry, guys, I'm dyslexic. So normally what happens is somebody just fills me in on what's being written on the screen. I also take about this chap that he takes me to he has a son as well. So if you're his child, there's a son and there's a daughter. He also tells me that he's had, I'll take that away. Really, towards the end, he was really unsteady on his feet because I kind of want to fall over, and he may have suffered with falls as well towards the end of his life. Does that make any sense to anybody? If anybody could kind of claim any of this information, that would be good. Right, let's get some more information about him. Okay, as I work with this chap, I also get about him that he's a bit... Okay. Great, Samantha. Would you also understand about this chap? He's quite active. He's his words, not mine. He's the confusion setting. He would be very active because he takes me out of the house a lot. So I want to say before then he would have not been in the house very much. He would have been very outgoing, great around his grandchildren. He tells me because he takes me down the generations towards his grandchildren. Lovely energy about this chap as well. He takes me to his passing, which was, in the end, was actually very quick. I mean, there was an illness, but the passing was very quick because 1 minute he's here and the next minute he's gone. And he also takes me to the fact that he wouldn't have been very up on what we do. For what we do, he would have been more, he wouldn't have seen it. He would have kind of thought this was all a bit hocus pocus. And as he said, he quite loved, because this is also part of his sense of humor, because as he links to me, he says, I wish I'd known then what I know now, because I'd have paid more attention to what I was being told. And he tells me that you do hear spirit, but you're not paying attention to what you're being told. Would you understand that, Samantha Joan? He also tells me that you have a situation around you at the moment where you... Yeah, great. Would you also not great? Obviously, the information is correct. It's not obviously that's at least I know that my connection is with you. Would you understand that there is a situation around you now where you feel that if he was here, he'd be able to give you the right advice, and he's trying to give you the right advice from the other side, but you're listening but not paying attention. It's like you know what you need to do, but you're just not doing it, or you're not grasping what you need to do. He's also telling me that he wants to. Sorry, young man. Right, he gives me the name of Steve or Stephen, and I don't very often get names. He gives me the name of Steve or Stephen or and also John. I don't think these are his names, but they're names around you that sit with you, he's telling me. And they could be in the spirit world, but I'm almost sure they're on this side of life. Okay. He also talks to me to the fact that at the moment you're having trouble with your... Okay, you're having trouble getting your words out, he's telling me. It's like you can't really express yourself in a situation, and he wants you to be more open about it, and that way you can solve it. Does that make any sense to you, Samantha? Just yes, no, that's fine. It doesn't matter how we go with this, but he's telling me he wants you to make more sense of this. He also tells me that you are stronger than you realise you are, because you keep putting yourself down and saying you can't handle these situations. Please take that away. Okay. But you really can. You're a very strong young lady. Yeah, brilliant. He's also telling me that you've been through this before, and he's seen that you coped with it before, and you can do it again. Is what he's telling me. As he steps back from me, because he wants to step back now and leave you his love. I always like to get a nice spiritual gift, because it's kind of confirmation that it's definitely Dad. Okay. He wants to give you a spiritual gift of a... Okay, I get this. He wants to give you a spiritual gift of a big cuddly toy. And it's like you need a big cuddle, or you need someone to hold on to feel safe. And he says, take the cuddly toy from spirit, but you're always safe because I'm always around you. And he wants to give you the big hug that you feel that you need right now, and almost like a bear hug. He was a very strong man, wasn't he? Both mentally and physically, because he makes me feel very strong, and he makes me feel very grounded. And he's saying you need to get more grounded, and then that way you'll be able to deal with what you need to deal with. And I'm going to say thank you for working with me, and pass it over to one of the other lovely guys who's working.
Go next then. I don't know who wants to go next. I'll go next then. Right, who I've got a lovely dad here. He's calling himself Charlie. So anybody could take a gentleman in spirit called Charlie. He's telling me his dad, and he's talking about, the first thing he said to me is, I'm Charlie, I'm with my best friend. So I know that he's up in spirit with his best friend. So I'm looking for somebody he's looking for a lady down here as well. So we've got Charlie up there with his best friend. He's also telling me that the month of April means something. So that's going to be an anniversary, birthday, or a passing. And he's also talking about Benny Hill. So he likes Benny Hill, or he did like Benny Hill when he was here. He's also connecting with the surname of Johnson as well. In the family, he's telling me as well. So you've got to have Charlie in spirit, who's a dad. Talking about the surname Johnson means something to him as well. And Charlie's also telling me that he's up in spirit. He's calling it upstairs like I do, as he's up in spirit with his best mate as well. He's talking about, he's got this lovely friendship with his best mate, which is another chap. And he's talking about going out with his best mate. And I think he used to work with him as well, because he's taking me into a workplace as well as Charlie. And he's talking about working with this chap that he's now up in spirit with. So hopefully somebody should be able to take him. He tells me that he's been mentioned in conversation recently. So somebody's been talking about him recently. So somebody's been speaking about Charlie recently, and has also been sending their prayers up to a lady in spirit that's with him as well, asking for a little bit of healing, because there's concern around a lady down here. So there's concern around a lady down here, somebody's mom, and whoever it is that belongs to Charlie has been sending prayers up for healing as well. Okay. He's talking about September means something as well. So the month of September will mean something to somebody as well. I think he's just going to wait for a minute. Also, he says in spirit with him is a gentleman called Stanley. So Stan is up there with him as well. Charlie connects to London as well. He's talking about a London link. And he's also talking about the tube in London as well. Okay. Dad's friend is in spirit who we work with. Not sure on Charlie. You see, give me the name Charlie. So I'll keep working, Lou, in case somebody else can take it. But he's talking about London, and he's also talking about the tubes, the trains. He's talking about connection with the tubes as well. He's talking about that. He's just saying also that there is a baby in spirit as well. Lou, if this is for you, he's talking about this lady down here that needs some healing. He's talking about a mom around you that needs some healing. That's not very well at the moment. So I don't know if this is for you or it's for somebody else, but he's bringing in this mom around you that's not very well at the moment. He has got a baby, like I say, in spirit. And he's also talking about a link to twins as well. There's a twin connection as well, Lou, all right? I don't know if you can he keeps concentrating on this lady, Lou, around you. If this is for you, there's got to be a lady around you that needs healing, because he's trying to get to this lady, okay, around you and speaking to her. Also, he's got your Charlie, his name is Charlie, you see. He's talking about, he has got your nan in spirit. In fact, he's got his mom. You should understand his mom in spirit with him. That he's just said to me that's looking after him. He's talking to me also about a problem with an eye. Somebody had a problem with an eye where it kept, because every now and again my eye keeps sticking as though it keeps closing. So somebody's got a problem with their eye then, Lou, that keeps sticking. Okay, and he's talking to me about that as well. Okay, all right, anything else? He thinks you need some healing as well, Lou, but he's going around your head. So it's as if I'm getting headaches. Or stuffy heads, stress related. Okay, then. Stress related around you, Lou, and he's trying to give you a little bit of healing. He's quite a strong healer, this gent is. All right. He's talking about that. He's just going back to London now. He's just talking to me about London. He's talking, like I say, he was talking to me about the tubes, and now he's gone on to the link to Paddington. So there's a link somewhere to Paddington Station that he's talking to me about Paddington Station. So watch for that. And also he's talking to me about going down to London and going in Harrods. So somebody's going to be thinking about going to Harrods. Okay. Wants me to give you, Lou, more water. He thinks you need more water to drink. Okay. This might help with your headaches, but he's giving you more water. Okay. Now, You might have to check this with your mum. I've got a feeling your mum might know this, unless you do. He's talking to me about someone whose tongue swelled up, Lou. Oh, apparently they were allergic to something and their tongue swelled. I think this is okay. I think this is in the past, but he's talking about somebody's tongue swelling due to them being allergic to something. Okay, but also separately, somebody is allergic to bee stings as well. Okay, so watch for that. But he's just mentioning somebody allergic to bee stings. Just said that there's a baby coming around you, Lou, so watch for the new baby coming around you as well. And also he wants to take you to, he's talking about Chesterfield. So there's going to be a link to Chesterfield. And apparently somebody likes to go in cathedrals. In fact, he's just said to me, somebody wants to go on a cathedral tour. So somebody's going to be looking through quite a few okay, then quite a few cathedrals and going on some sort of tour because of that interested. He says, who's this? There's Alfred in spirit and also Ernest. So there's a few names for you, Lou, that you might have to check with your mom, but I'm sure she'll fit them in. Alfred and Ernest want to say hello to you. And also a gentleman in spirit that used to collect stamps. Okay, that wants to be remembered as well. Okay, anything for you. You're going to be doing more studying. I just said, what's for you, Lou? And he's just said to me, oh, she's going to be doing more studying. So hand her some books. He's just said to me, hand her some books. She's going to be doing more studying, he's saying. So watch for the books coming your way. There is a nursing link in your family as well. So watch for that if you're unsure, but it is going back as well. So it may well be in the past. And he's also bringing in Margaret to say hello to you as well. Okay, so your granddad wants to say hello, but Margaret wants to say hello to you as well. And also the name Ruby. Ruby, that's an unusual name. Ruby wants to say hello to you from spirit as well, but apparently she's around your mom. So watch for Ruby saying hello to your mom. Now, when this gent comes, or your granddad, because he likes this, when I'm talking to your granddad, he's playing with your nose, so it'll start making you itch a little bit. That's how he'll come around you. Can you pass on the message to your mom that she's getting some healing? They wanted to know that she's getting some healing, and also that her prayers have been, being answered. So your mom's been sending prayers up to spirit. Your mum's also been sending up prayers to spirit for other people in the family for healing, Lou. So just to let you know, they're aware of that as well. There's a lot of healing going on around you at the moment, and there's going to be a discussion on somebody's schooling. Your granddad's coming in now. There's going to be a discussion on somebody's schooling around you, a change of schools, or the possibility of a change of schools. Okay, and I think that's it. Apparently, before they go, they just want to, I think your mum might be aware of this more than you, but somebody from spirit was buried with his cap, with his flat cap. So hopefully you'll be aware of that, or your mum will. They're just sending you their love. They're making me blow your kisses. And the main reason for coming is just to confirm that they're around. That's why they've come. All right, to let you know they know what's going on and that they're around you. All right, so sending you the love. Okay, I hope that was okay for you. And also the name Alice. Got a lot of people up in spirit. I think there's a lot of people up there, Lou, that know your mum as well. So I think you're going to have to check with her, but Alice as well. And also George. I'm getting loads of people. But I'll leave their love with you. I hope that was okay with you, Lou. I'll leave that with you. Okie dokie. Done, Ben?
Yeah. Hi. Good evening, everybody. Follow that. Yeah. I was drawn to the name of Christine Murray for some reason or other. As soon as it came up, I felt very drawn to you, Christine. Do you understand if I say to you right at this moment in time, either you or someone around you needs a lot of healing? And when I say a lot of healing, there's there's issues. I call it 3 helicopters. There's and basically what it is, there's 3 issues that you're trying to sort out in one go. But the healing is most important. And do you understand it, Christine, if you do need the healing? Because, and also, can you understand, Christine, if I say to you, not only do you need the healing and your sister needs healing, but one of you is also a healer. Because basically what I'm being shown is, I'm being shown you getting the healing, or your sister getting the healing, but I'm also being shown purple above your head. Now, purple for me says healing. And I also want to say to you, and I also want to say to you, can you understand it if I say to you, you're almost fighting 3 battles on one front? Because I get the feeling, I've got a lot of stress here on top of my head. And I want to do this for you. I want to take it away from you. I want to take all this away from you today, because it's just lots and lots of stuff. But you also understand, purple's healing, Christine. But you also understand, if I say to you, you are in a situation where you have to be somewhat circumspect in what you say. Because I'm being made aware there's a situation around you where you are a very, very, very straightforward lady, Christine. And you are the sort of person that 2 and 2 makes 4. What if it says Kellogg's on the packet? That's Kellogg's. And that's what you are. But can you understand if I say to you, around you, there's a situation where somebody's being a little bit silly, and you want to go in and you want to sort it, but you know you cannot sort it, because if you do, you're going to create as many problems as you solve. Now, I've also got Mum come in, and I'm telling you why I know it's Mum, even without saying it, because your mum and you are very similar in features, especially around your nose, around your eyes, around your forehead. And do you understand if I say to you, Mum was very, very similar in ways to you? She was really, really straightforward down the line. Now, she wouldn't upset anybody for the world, but my goodness gracious me, don't upset me, Duck. In Stoke-on-Trent, everybody's called Duck. So don't upset me, Duck, because I will say what I think. Now, she was the sort of lady that would say what she thought, but she wouldn't really want to upset anybody. And also, can you understand if I say to you, there's a lady close to you, and I think she comes on a mother-in-law link, that is what I call a Mrs. Krusty. She's, this lady I've got with me as well is what I call a Mrs. Krusty. Out on the outside, she's like what I call a crusty person, you know, but inside she's marshmallow. But do you understand if I say to you, Christine, you're a bit like that sometimes? You can be a little bit of a Mrs. Krusty, but in that actual fact, you're a big softy. Because mum's making me laugh, because she's saying exactly the same. Now, this problem you've got around you, she understands where you're coming from. But when I say the 3 helicopters, what I mean is you've got one main situation, and then you've got almost like a bits coming off that's causing you problems. But she understands your situation. Yes, she understands your situation, and she understands where you are. Hence the reason for the healing. Hence the reason for what she's doing here, which is taking your stress away from you. And I'm doing this because I want to do this, because I want to take it away. But can you understand if I say to you, somewhere around you also, you've got somebody who has got a problem with the shoulders, and I want to give shoulders, and I want to give down the back and the coccyx. I want to give that. But I also want to give you somebody around you that has rheumatism. I'm being shown. And do you understand if I say to you that I don't say you suffer from a bit of rheumatism, but you're getting a little bit more stiff, if you know what I mean. Because, yes, that's a healing. But Mum was a healer. Now, I also want to give you a link with a horse. A steeplechaser. One of those horses that jumps, that runs for some reason or another. Because can you understand it if I say to you that you sometimes run around like a blue, yes, a blue bottomed fly. I have to be very, very careful what I said there. And because basically, you know, when you go, nothing stops you. But I also want to say to you, you're a very organized lady. Yes, yes, yeah. But you're a very organized lady as well, because basically I'm being made aware that I'm being shown your cutlery drawer, and to me your cutlery drawer, when you see your cutlery drawer, yeah, it's pretty organized. But I want to say to you that you need to give yourself time, because basically what I'm being made aware of is that why you trying to sort this situation out, you're running petrol out of your petrol tank. And basically, Christine, you need to put petrol back in your petrol tank. You need to start to look after you, not look after everyone else, because I'm being made aware that sometimes you are the last person you think about. What Mum's making me aware of is that you need to start to look at be the first person you make aware. The first person you need to be made. You need to start looking after yourself more than looking after everybody else. Quickly, Mum's just showing me her house, which was very, which was very, very, very. It was a home. Not a house, it was a home, but there was nothing. She kept the home neat and tidy. She really was very proud of her home. And also, do you understand if I say to you, and Mum's starting to leave me now, do you also understand if I say to you, Mum used to like to drink tea out of a china cup and saucer, especially on a Sunday? She's saying that was her treat. Now, she's sending her love to you. I want to give you a John. I want to give you an Alan. I want to give you an Ernest. And I want to give you two Ernests. Also, before I leave you, I also want to give you a child in spirit, not yours, but a child in spirit for some reason or other. And it's a little girl. I also want to give you, before I leave you, I want to give you a number 17. And for some reason or another, I also want to give you a memory link of Players Senior Service. And that is a link to a sailor within the family. Yes, right. That is a link towards a sailor in a family. But I could go on for you, Christine, for hours and hours and hours, because you are so interesting and you've got so much going on. But the most important thing I want to give to you is healing. And I want to give you the healing, Christine. I don't want to give anybody else. I don't want to give anybody else healing. I want to give it to you. And Christine, you must take the healing for you, not for everybody else and lob it out to everybody else. Because basically, if you don't, you're going to make yourself not in the best of places. Christine, I've not met you, but you're a beautiful, lovely lady. And I hope you've enjoyed the reading. And thank you so much, everybody else, for sharing your time with me and for sharing your time with Christine. And if everybody can send Christine a little bit of healing, I'm sure she'd feel better. And before I leave you, I just want to say to you, cupcakes. Love you now, Christine. Look after yourself.
Well, Christine Marie, there we are. What can I say? Lots of people are asking for messages, and Facebook users saying, "Can I have a message?" And lots of other people saying, "Can I have a message?" Or continuously putting up hearts and various things. Can I just say, on behalf of the mediums, the mediums, we don't ask them to go to specific people. They go where Spirit is calling them. So Spirit are waiting this evening as we come online, and they actually come one after another to talk to us. So it's not really possible for us to actually just go and give a message on an evening like this. Sometimes when we do Zoom services, we can actually go directly to people if we choose to do. But again, it's very rare that we choose to go directly to a person. So I hope that you all understand that, and thank you for asking, but we cannot guarantee. This is an experiment, and it's done as an experiment. So if I said to Peter, "Who are you going to next?" I think he would probably say to me, he doesn't know.
Oh, Ben, I just wish that you couldn't have got that. I hate to say this, you couldn't have got that more wrong. Because actually, I know exactly who I'm going to, which is really unusual. And here's the thing: I know exactly who she wants. So I'm going to go to Amy Joanne. Amy Joanne, and I know that you want to speak to your grandmother. And she's come here, and she's a lovely lady, bless her heart. And I know that before she passed, she had issues with her stomach, and I know that she had she also had issues with her breathing towards the end, but it was her stomach that caused her a lot of issues. But she has told me, she keeps calling you my Amy. She keeps calling you my Amy, and she's a lovely lady, and she's got like, I know that she made good years because she comes with white hair, but she says my hair started to thin towards the end, and I really loved my hair, and it was really an issue for me. Thank you, Amy. I knew she just confirmed that you did actually want to hear from your nan this evening, because she was adamant that you did. It's amazing that the way that she came through, because I was going to try and do something with Ben, and I couldn't think of how to do it, and then she just went, "I want to speak to Amy," so that's exactly what we're going to do. Lovely energy about this lady. And I love the way she is, but she is a very matter-of-fact person. I mean, she is like, an issue's got to be sorted, and I want to say that there's something in your life that you've just got to get sorted, because it's troubling you, and it's troubling you, and it's troubling you, and it's causing you sleepless nights and lots of anxiety. Yes, I always wanted. Yeah, brilliant. But she's telling me about an issue that's causing you lots of anxiety and is affecting your sleep, and it's even affecting your concentration at all sorts of times. And she's saying to me, you need to still your mind. Just slow your mind down, because if you notice, my voice went really quick, and now she wants to slow me right down and calm right down, which is what you need to do, because you're running like a Tasmanian devil. She says you've got to stop because you're running on empty. She's telling me she also wants you to. She says to me that you've suffered a loss. She says that you've suffered a loss recently. And I want to go back no more than 2 years with this. Also, she's telling me how much she loves you. It's like, it's almost right now you need lots and lots of love, lots and lots of upliftment. And it's all there for you, is what she's telling me. It's all wrapped around you. I love her because she's a real traditional. She bakes cakes. She does the Sunday roast. It's not her that the loss, darling. It's a different loss she's telling me about. It's a different loss that she's telling me about. So there must have been another loss that you've suffered. Not for me to know. You may know what this is about, but she's telling me. She just is a very traditional nan, And she also tells me about the big family meals, like all of you around the table, all of you laughing and joking. And she talks about the fun that you have in the garden, because she's talking about, I don't know whether this is your garden or her garden, whether it's now. You love to have fun in the garden. It's like you lot to, yeah, exactly. She's telling me that, but a massive spread, and everybody ate too much, and she cooked far too much. It was unbelievable. The spreads were unbelievable. She also takes me to, okay, would you understand that lately you have been suffering with headaches? Because she's telling me your mind is too busy and you're taking too much on. She's saying, and you're taking everybody's problems on, she's telling me as well. You need to stop that, darling. The world is not yours to fix. She's telling me the world is not yours to fix. You've got to let some of the other people deal with some of the problems. And it's nice that people come to you, but what she's telling me is not all problems are your problems. You've got things going on in your life that you need to sort out. Excuse me. And I'm sure this lady had cancer, because I feel like I'm a little bit sick, and that's how cancer presents itself for me. Yeah. She wants me to tell you, slow down. Take some time for Amy. Take yourself out of the situations where you feel uncomfortable as well. She's saying you sometimes you'll be made to feel a little bit uncomfortable. Walk away from the situations. It may not be her, it may be somebody else, but it's not. I don't have it, but I've definitely got a feeling that someone who passed to the world of spirit who had a cancerous condition, and that would have been a female as well. She gives me the month of November, but she also gives me the month of September. So I don't know whether these are birthdays, passings, or anniversaries, but she's telling me I get November and September. She's also telling me that she wants you to. You're very spiritual, but you need to start literally to slightly. It's affecting you. You're not eating properly, she's telling me. You're not taking enough fluids in properly, she's telling me. She's also telling me that you can't. I literally want to put the brakes on you. I literally want to put my arms around you and stop you physically, because it has to stop. Okay, she's going mad. When she wants to make, this woman wants to make a point, she won't stop, because she's going over and over and over. And I think she would have done this in life as well. She keeps going over and over the same stuff over and over again. She keeps telling me. I've told her that I've passed that. Yeah, exactly. And that's got to stop. She's telling me she wouldn't have stood for that while she was here, and she's not going to stand for that when she's there, because she will keep getting that message across to you, my darling. Sorry, say that to me again, Angel. Okay. She's taking me to your career now, and she says that you need to push on. It's almost like you've come to a dead end and you've stopped instead of keep pushing. And she wants you to push on a bit more with your career. She's saying to me that you're so talented everywhere, but here you're not really being seen for your full talent and your full potential. Because I feel like I'm kind of not quite at the end of where I need to be with what I do. And she really wants you to do that. So I'm going to ask her for a spiritual gift before she goes and see what she comes up with for you. Okay, right. First things first, she immediately gives me a birthday cake. So I know there's a birthday cake coming. A birthday cake. I know that there's a birthday coming up very soon, probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, and now what's the spiritual gift, my darling? Some flowers. Okay, she's telling me she wants to give you some flowers, Amy, because what she's saying is you're hiding. You're not putting on. You're putting on the dark colors because you want to be. Yeah. Well, sometimes we have to. Yeah, sometimes we have to push forward to achieve what we want, not wait for it to happen. And that's what she's saying. That drive that you've got, push it into your career. So she's saying, Kate, keep going with your career, keep pushing forward. I want to give you these flowers, beautiful flowers. And she obviously loved her garden, but she's giving me some lilies. And I know that lilies are typically love and typically to do with that kind of thing. But she wants to give you lots of beautiful flowers. But she wants to give you some colour, because she says, get the colour going. I know the sun's not out, but get the colour going. I'm going to leave her love with you and say thank you for working with me. and then I'm going to pass over to one of the other guys. Thank you, Amy, for working with me. Lovely, lovely, lovely spirit.
I'm back. Right, who have I got? I've got a lovely couple with me, and they're lovely. I've just got this lovely old couple with me, and while we were listening to the others, the lady was sitting down making her husband a nice cup of tea. Okay, so I've got a lovely grandma and granddad, or mum and dad here. The lady's talking to me mainly. I know she's a lovely lady because she does half look after her other half, and he's just sitting here, and she's making him lots of cups of tea. And I know that she did this when she was here as well. She looked after her. She just said to me, I looked after my gentleman well, she's telling me as well. Now, this lady's talking about taking aspirin. So I know she had problems with she's talking about angina. So I know when she was down here, she had trouble with angina, and she used to take some aspirin as well. To try and sort it out. She's just said to me, she she knows of the name Stephen, and she also knows of the name Jack. So she's aware of the name Stephen that connects to her, and also Jack. She's telling me that Stephen is down here. Okay, love tea, both of them. But she's talking about, if it's for you, Mia, you need to take this angina thing that she keeps talking to me about, because this is one of the specific things to get me to the right person. So she's talking about taking aspirin and, you know, to thin the blood. She's talking to me about that. But she's lovely. The way she's looking after her other half, I know they're very close. Married for a long time, she's telling me, married for a long time. And I know she's got a connection with Ireland as well. She's talking to me about Ireland, and she's talking about a link to Londonderry as well. So there's an Irish link somewhere in the family that she's bringing forward as well. And she's come, she says, because if this is for you, Mia, you should be aware that there's bridges that need to be built in the family. Okay, then. She's talking about bridges that need to be built in the family around you at the moment, Mia. And she's telling me she's concerned about these bridges that need to be built. And she's concerned, she tells me, because she's concerned about you. Okay, because she's talking about you taking on a lot of the stress. You must be taking on a lot of the stress, because she's talking about you feel it. You know, when people are stressed or there's worries going around, you feel it. That's how she's describing it. You feel it all. And she's talking about you need a little bit of healing, Mia. You need a little bit of healing. Okay. She's come, she says also, oh, she's just funny. She's so funny. She just said to me, oh, hold on, I've just got to make him another cup of tea. I've just got to make him another cup of tea. So her husband's sitting down there, your granddad's sitting down, and she's running backwards and forwards from me, making her other half cups of tea as we're talking. Oh, I must give him some custard cream, she's saying. So I know he liked his custard creams. Okay. And I know that also she's talking to me about fig rolls as well. So I know he likes his biscuits, and she just said to me, oh, he likes his cheese and biscuits as well. So I don't know if you remember his cheese and biscuits. Oh, and pickled onions. They seem to be talking to me a lot about what he used to eat and what he enjoyed. He's bringing that. Why are you bringing that? She says, I'm bringing this food, she's saying, because she wants to give some of it to you, Mia, because she's talking about you snacking. So it's like you're picking. You're not eating a lot and you're picking. Okay, and that's why she's trying to give you some of his food, and that's why she's talking about food, because of she's just said your habit of picking instead of eating meals. In fact, she's just give you a great big plate of bangers and mash. She said, give her the bangers and mash with the gravy on top, she's saying. I think she's trying to feed you up, Mia. Okay. She's just said to me, Mia, there's a surprise coming for you. There's a surprise. Okay. So it's a nice one. She's not going to tell me what it is because she knows that I'm going to tell you. She just said, can you just tell her there's a nice surprise coming? Okay, for you. Now, this is separate to the surprise, I think, but she's bringing in a nice, she's talking about a bracelet that was handmade by somebody for somebody. She's got knowledge of this bracelet that was made for somebody. It looks like a type of a friendship bracelet because she's bringing in a leather strap or something, Mia. So she's aware of this nice bracelet that was made. It's plaited as well. She's plaiting it. So there's some memory that your nan's got of this plaiting. Okay. She's talking to me about there's a sister or sister-in-law. I don't get the in-law bit. Bangers and mash. Okay. Okay. She's talking about there's a sister or sister-in-law around you that needs a little bit of healing, that she's describing as under the weather. She just needs some healing, that's all. But she also, whoever this sister is, she needs a little bit of a pick-me-up. You know what I mean? She's got no energy. My nan used to have that. She's just showing me a bottle of okay. She obviously wants to talk about your daughter in a minute. She's just showing me, your nan's just showing me a bottle of Lucozade. And my nan used to have these big bottles of Lucozade, and they were covered in like cellophane, Mia. And she's just give that to your sister, just to perk her up a little bit. Okay, she's just bringing that back to perk your sister up a little bit. We're going back to your daughter now because you mentioned the bracelet, so we're going back to her. Okay. She's talking about she's describing your daughter as more artistic than academic, and that's exactly what she said. More artistic than academic, but she's also saying that she is academic, but she has to work more at it, if you get what I mean. Whereas she's telling me the artistic side of her comes naturally. So watch for the artistic side in your daughter coming out that your nanny's talking about as well. Okay. Somebody's been doing their hair. Somebody's been doing the hair because your nan is kind of curling it with curling tongues in almost like ringlets. She's doing ringlet style on my head. So she's aware of that as well, Mia. Okay, she's talking about that. She's obviously watched somebody. She's describing now, she's still on, because she's made me read your comment, which means she's going to answer that, artistic and creative. She's likening your daughter to, oh no, I've lost her name. Oh, I'm trying to think of this girl's name. She's not telling me. In the olden days, there was a 1960s star that had ringlets that used to sing. I can't remember her name now. I've lost the name, and she ain't telling me. I'll probably get it in a minute. But she's likening your daughter to this youngster, Shirley Temple. She just said to me, Shirley Temple. So she's likening your daughter to Shirley Temple. Okay, so she's having a bit of a giggle there as well. She's saying your daughter needs to stop running up and down the stairs. We don't want her slipping or anything, nothing bad or anything like that. She's tripping up as she's going up the stairs because she's always in a rush. She's always in a rush. So tell her to slow down. Your nan's talking about there's going to be a discussion down here about somebody wants a dog. Somebody wants a dog. That's it, Shirley Temple. Somebody wants a dog down here, Mia. So your nan's aware of that as well. But she's also saying there's going to be some discussion about the fact that somebody wants a dog, but on the other hand, somebody's going to be talking about a cat and they can't make up their mind between the two. So watch for that. She's just said to me, Mia, Roland Rat. Okay. Roland Rat. So I don't know whether she means the actual, thing on the telly, or she means somebody would like a rat as a pet. But she's just said to me, can you just tell her Roland Rat? In fact, she's actually just told me that somebody had a rat, Mia, as a pet, and it escaped. Escaped from a cage. All right. So watch for that. If you don't understand it, it'll be to come. Somebody's got a rat and it's escaping, and somebody's having to chase it through around the living room. So your nan's having a good giggle about that. Okay. She says somebody's been talking about redecorating as well. And also somebody's been talking about would like to redecorate the stairs and the landing. All right, but they're a bit worried about going on the ladder. Okay, so somebody's been talking. She's just letting you know that she's been listening. She tells me, and I don't know whether this is you. I think this is you, Mia. She's trying to tuck my hair behind my ears, but she's telling me that somebody does this regular, just keeps tucking their hair behind their ears, and she's telling them to scoop it up and put it in a ponytail. So somebody keeps doing this, and she's just saying, "Oh, stick it behind up in a ponytail." Oh, right, okay then. Watch for it escaping if she ever gets one then. Somebody's got what is it? your nan's talking about somebody having temper tantrums when they were younger, where they used to stamp their feet. I want to stamp my feet. I want to stamp my feet. She's talking to me about that as well. Okay. She's talking about, I've got builder's bum again, Mia. She's talking to me about, you know, when you're walking past some of these lads and they have their trousers hanging halfway down. Your nan's having a bit of a giggle about builder's bum. So I don't know if it's because she's seen you react to it or somebody's reacted to it. And she's been watching and she's having a bit of a giggle about that as well. Okay. And then she's gone on to gravy now. She's talking to me about gravy. She's talking to me about, she's calling it runny gravy, but I don't know what she means. It's something to do with the thickness of gravy. Somebody must have been talking about it or something. Somebody can't make their gravy properly. She's just saying, somebody can't make their gravy properly, Mia. She says somebody's been looking at photographs and reminiscing. So someone's been looking at photographs of people in, okay. Somebody's been looking at photographs of people in spirit and they've been reminiscing about these people in spirit as well. And she wants to let them know that they were there. Because, you know, when we start looking at pictures, spirit like to gather around and see what we're doing. And somebody's obviously been doing that. Your nan says that Joseph is up there. Joseph, okay, wants to say hello to you. Change subject really quick. She's talking to me about chewing gum, Mia. First of all, she gave me green chewing gum. Oh, green chewing gum. And then she changed it to like, I don't know what these are. They're almost like, okay, they're almost like gobstoppers, but they're not. They're chewing gum. They go into chewing gum. That's what she's showing me, a gobstopper, but it's turning into chewing gum. I think there must be a memory for somebody as well that she's bringing to you. Somebody apparently used to blow the chewing gum and it used to pop and go over the face. Your nan's talking to me about that as well. Okay. Your nan, when she comes around you or other people in the family, she brings lovely smells with her. Is that what it is? She brings lovely smells with her. So you'll be smelling, she likes her flowers. I keep asking her what she's going to come with the smell, but she varies it. So you'll get a nice whiff of roses, but she also likes her lily of the valley as well. So you might get a nice smell like that when your nan comes around you. She's also bringing a memory of, do you remember the Charlie perfume? Somebody used to wear Charlie perfume, she says, as well. Okay. She says that somebody recently has kissed her photograph. Kissed a photograph of somebody in spirit. I'm putting it against my mouth. So somebody's gone like this with the photograph. Okay. So you'll probably smell that around you, Mia. But she's talking about somebody kissing her photograph as well. Okay. And she's also, I don't know if your daughter's doing this or this is a memory for you. She's bringing memories of scrapbooks, the old scrapbooks, and cutting out the pictures and sticking them in with the, she said to me, with the Pritt stick. She's just said to me, with the Pritt stick, I'm rubbing the Pritt stick on the photos and stamping them in. So somebody's been doing that as well. Anything else? Margaret from Spirit for you as well. And also Rose from Spirit as well wants to say hello to you. Okay, Charlie perfume. Okay, so she's acknowledging that she's watching you do that as well. And she says that, I don't know whether it's recent or she's made me read that and said, oh, they also, somebody put some flowers in a vase for me as well. She's aware of somebody putting flowers in a vase for her as well, wants to thank you. And also, she's going to go in a minute, I think, but she's just talking about, I don't know if she meant her coffin. She's just said to me, somebody put a red rose on a coffin, a single, Rose and Margaret. Somebody put a single red rose on a coffin, okay, which they want me to give back to you. So she's giving you this lovely single red rose for you. Just as a present, she's saying, just as a present. She's just said to me, there will be a mover house for you, Mia. It might not be yet, but there will be another mover house. But she's saying a bigger house with more space. All right, but she's not telling me where. And she's brought, I don't know if I did I give you Ireland? Because she's connecting you back with Ireland. She's talking about a link to Ireland. And also, she's talking to me about Caerphilly as well. I think that's Wales, isn't it? She just said to me, link her with Caerphilly as well. So watch for that coming up. But your granddad's here, but all he's doing is just sitting there. Oh, he's just told me off. All he's doing is just sitting there drinking tea, and he's just come back with, "What do you mean all I'm doing is drinking tea?" So I've just had a bit of telling off, but he is giggling about it. But he's just sitting there drinking his tea at the moment. Okay. But he just wants to be remembered to you as well. We just want to let you know that we're listening. Tell the rest of the family, they say before they go, tell the rest of the family that we're listening and we know what's going on. And the final word, and this is, I've never had this before, the final word is stay upbeat. Well, I've never had that as a sign off, but your nan's saying stay upbeat. Tell the family to stay upbeat. And there's a link to France as well. Okay, Mia, for you as well. Coming up, somebody wants to go actually to the Eiffel, just making me build the Eiffel Tower, look. Making me build the Eiffel Tower. Okay, so I'll leave. Your granddad's just saw your comment and he says, yes, I like English tea. He's just said to me, I like English tea. Okay, blowing your kisses, Mia, so I hope that was okay. They're going now. I'm going back to my biscuits, he's just said to me. But I'll leave that with you, Mia. Hope that was okay. Making me laugh. He's quite funny, your granddad's making me laugh. Okay. So, yeah, stay upbeat, he's saying to you, Mia. So I hope that was all right. Probably giving you loads of healing. All right. So I'll leave that with you. Thank you.
Well, Deb, that was absolutely fantastic. A really good message. I'm not sure who I want to come to at the moment, but I want to come, I think, to Patrick. And now I've got an Irish connection here, but I also want to bring shipbuilding. But no, sorry, I'm not with you, Patrick. Sorry, Shelley Hawkins. Hello, Shelley Hawkins. How are you? Can you understand if I give you an Irish connection? Because I want to, for some reason or another, I have been taken to Ireland. Now, I'm being shown shipbuilding as well. Now, in the old-fashioned days when the shipbuilding, they used to make the plates, and then they used to, hi Shelley, and then they used to have to drill the holes and work very hard at it. Can you understand if I say to you, around you or you, I've got a very, very, very logical brain. 2 and 2 makes 4, because I'm being taken to I'm being taken to a situation where I just want to be logical about everything that I'm doing at this moment in time. But can you understand if I say to you also at this moment in time, you need to be a little bit more constructive? And when I say constructive, what I mean by saying that is you need to start to, you think logically, but sometimes this logic stops you going forward. Because it's like you've got, everything's got to be proved. Yeah. And you've got to be in a situation where if it makes sense, you move forward. But what I'm being made aware of, and I've got grandfather here, that some reason or another, you need to stop thinking quite so logically and start thinking more out of the box. Because basically, you are stopping yourself. Now, can you understand, Shelley, if I say to you, for some reason or another, you want to grow, metaphorically, you want to grow, there's something you want to do, or if it's not you, it's somebody very, very, very close to you that needs to move forward, needs to grow into their own shoes. Because basically, I'm being made aware, yes, there's a point for logic, but there's also a point for just taking a little bit of a chance sometimes. Now, let me tell you about Grandad, who I've got with me. Grandad was a very, very, very logical man. I've given him I want to give him like an architect, because basically, but I keep coming back to this thing of this logic, because I'm if he was an architect, do you understand, Shelley, if I say to you, he and you, yeah, and you are very, very good at drawing, because I'm being shown pictures, but with the pictures, it's like put a house, you put your foundations in, you build your walls, you put your first fix, you put your second fix in, which I'm told is the right thing to do because I really haven't got a clue. But this Irish connection, can you understand if I say to you that your granddad and your parents knew poverty? You can't draw, that's fine. But can you understand if I say to you, because I want to give a situation around you where people were quite poor, but they worked themselves out of it, out of this situation. Now, I know you can't draw, but that's not the point. I'm not saying draw. What I'm saying is, with an architect, they draw things out on paper, and basically, you need to draw stuff out on paper, but when you draw it out on paper, you also need to follow what you're thinking, because I've got a situation around you where somebody can do so much more than they, you know what Deb was talking about, I think, Amia's granddaughter, but I've got a situation around me where somebody can do so much more with what they've got. And I'm talking a relative of yours. And basically what I'm being made aware of is that there's a frustration from the other side because they didn't have the chance of being able to improve the lot. They because of the situations that they were in. But now what I'm being made aware of is, yes, there is a chance now of moving forward. But I also want to say to you that I'm talking about granddaughter or daughter. I'm not really sure which one it is at the moment because I'm being given two lots of messages. But they need to start to they need your encouragement. They need your footprints. They need you to turn around and right. I thought it was you, Shelley, but can you understand it? I also want to give you one of your children is also wants to move forward. Because basically with you, Shelley, do you understand if I say to you, life has not always dealt you the best deck of cards? And to some degree, you have had to learn a lot. You wore your heart on your sleeve, and sometimes you got hurt by people. But I've got 2 or 3 messages here, because what I want to say, first of all, Shelley, is you have built more castle walls around you than Carnarvon Castle. And although that's very good, what it doesn't do is it doesn't let people in. But can you understand, Shelley, if I say to you, really, there's very, very few people who know this beautiful lady, Shelley Hawkins, because you have built these walls around you. But by building walls around you, that protects you, but it also doesn't let somebody else in or let others in. And what I'm being made aware of is that if you drop your walls a little bit, then you can let people in to your domain. Because there's a lot more to you than meets the eye, Shelley. And when I say a lot more to you than meets the eye, it's like almost like as if I would call you a Gauguin. And a Gauguin is a thinker. And the thinker is, and I go back to this logic. I go back to this thing of the architect. I go back to this thing of making things fit, because you need to start to, what I've been made aware of, you need to start to think about making things, and for you, because can you understand, Shelley, if I say to you, for a long time, you have stood and done, and just more or less stood in the same place. But there's, as I said, there's so much more to you, Shelley, than meets the eye. And basically, what I'm being made aware of is, if you start to come out of that marching on the spot place, then you will find a lot of different things. And you will find that life will open up to you a lot more than it has done, because basically what you've done, Shelley, is you sat behind the you sat behind your walls, and you watched everything else going on around you, but you're not partaking. Well, I'm just being made aware that you perhaps need to start to come over those walls, because what I've been made aware of is you've been given strength. You're being given strength from your granddad, because he actually knew, I don't say poverty, but I do say he knew hard times. And he's making me aware that you have so much more. And wasted opportunity, because basically, if you go back a few years, you were a very positive, optimistic person, but for some unknown reason, you've taken that positivity and you've just let it slide a little bit. Life's experiences. Well, and be made aware that really you really need to start to look forward. But can you understand if I say to you that working with other people is the way that you are thinking about going? Because basically, you by being around the tree a few times, you can understand and empathize with people, and they just want you to move forward. But again, I want to come back to the shipbuilding, because when you build a ship, you put the keel in, then you put the ribs in, then you put the steel, then you put the sheets on, and then you rivet, and basically, and then put the cabins on and all that sort of stuff. But then what I'm being made aware of is, by doing that, by building up, you're going to sort of come out of yourself, because I want to give you healing, but I want to say you're a healer. But do you understand if I say to you, around you, you are you have got a lot going on with people, almost, I want to say, taking some of your energy. You need to start to think about keeping your energy for yourself, because if you don't, your tank's going to run on empty again. Now, I've been given a Shire horse for you, and a Shire horse is strength. I think you can take a connection with a Shire horse, because I've been shown you as a little girl holding the reins of a Shire horse. But I want to give you the Shire horse, because I want to give you the strength of the Shire horse to move forward. Now, before I leave you, can you understand if I give you red roses? I also want to give you lily of the valley, and I also want to give you chrysanthemums. Now, right, yeah, brilliant. With chrysanthemums, to grow chrysanthemums, you dig a hole in the ground, you put the manure in, then you put the seeds in, then you put the earth in, and then you cosset them to make them grow. Now, what I'm being made aware of, Shelley Hawkins, is that you have put the seed in the ground and you have put the manure on top of the seed, but you've not filled the earth in. And until you until you fill the earth in, metaphorically, you're not going to grow. But by the same time, if you put the earth in and start to think of yourself in a far more positive way than you are at this moment in time, you will grow. But I also want to give you this other person that's around you. I want to give you granddaughter or daughter, but I want to go granddaughter because she has got so much to offer. And I want to say to you about what I'm being made aware of is they're so proud of you all, of what you've done. Now, before I leave you, can I give you the name of Roger? And can I give you the name of Alan and John? And also, I want to give you a picture of a gentleman in a Second World War uniform. Now, this gentleman didn't make it through the war, but there's a picture of him. And I want to go for Dad's brother, that sort of era. I want to give you a number 5, and I want to give you a number 52, and I want to give you a January, a February, an April, May, June, September, November, and I want to give you December. Yeah, I thought so. And I want to give you December. But all those things. But I just want to give you loads and loads and loads of healing, which you need, but also by the same token, I want to give you healing for somebody that's close to you. And I also want to give you healing for somebody that's close to you that has had problems with the feet. Yes. As I said, and healing for somebody close to you with problems with the feet. Now, just a memory link before I leave you. I've been given cheese on toast. I know, I'm not really sure what the cheese are. Oh my goodness gracious me, and I want to give you cottage pie as well. Good old-fashioned, traditional, I was going to say English cooking, but I want to give you good old-fashioned cooking. Shelley, it's been a real right, okay, that's enough now. I want to give you a connection. I want to tell you about Woodbines cigarettes, 5 Woodbine cigarettes, packets of 5 Woodbine cigarettes. So I don't know what that means. I do know what it means, but I've just been shown Woodbines. Shelley, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you tonight, and just think about what the relations are all about, because basically when spirit come in, they come in for a reason. Now they come in and also because they're here, they get so excited about coming, and they get so excited. So what they do is they tend to chuck a load and a load and a load of information, and sometimes we can get an overload of information. But they are so excited to come in to talk and to say hello. But you're aware of them. And before I leave you, do you understand if I say to you, I want to say to you that you know that there's a spirit around you because you can smell the cigarettes. Shelley, it's been a real pleasure working with you tonight. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. And yeah, thank you so much.
Right. Okay. All right. Can you all hear me? Yeah.
Yep.
We're really at 20. We've got 8 minutes to go, and I don't like to run over time. So I think we're kind of coming to the end. Are you able to give a quick message, Peter? And
Yeah.
what about you, Debbie? Something quick.
Right. Just pick a name for me, please, Ben. Any name.
Okay, Debbie White.
Debbie White. Okay, Debbie White. Okay. I want to say, because I was drawn straight to the left-hand side of my face here, that Debbie White has either got a problem with her teeth, has had a toothache that she's not had looked into, or there's someone around her that's got an issue with the side of their face or their mouth that's not been looked into. They really do need to get it looked at. They do need to go for the antibiotics. I'm also being told that she needs to start having the courage of her convictions as well. She needs to move forward in the way that she wants to. And I'm sure it's her grandmother that's telling me this. I know it's her grandmother that's telling me this, because, and she's not listening either. And someone is in her left ear. There's a new love interest around her as well, or there's some new love around the lady, because left is love, right is spite. So I want to say that someone is talking to her, but in a nice way. So she is not the person that people think she's a much nicer person than she thinks she is, and people can see it. She's the only one that doesn't. Is that quick enough for you, Ben? And you're muted, mate, so we can't hear you. You're still muted, so we still can't hear you. And you're still muted, we still can't hear you.
Let's carry on without him. Let's just carry on without him, shall we?
Yes, just as what you'd like. What about you, Debbie?
I don't know who I'm with, Ben, but I've got somebody's husband with me who's talking about his ring being resized. I think what's happened is, when he's passed, somebody's kept his ring and they've had it resized so that it fits them. So if anybody's got a husband in spirit and they've had his ring resized, you'll have to let me know. But he's quite a bit, well, I don't know whether he's actually a joker or whether this has happened recently or whether it happened to him. But it's showing me somebody without their shirt on, a gentleman without their shirt on, but they're wearing a tie. And I think they're just doing it as a laugh. They've just got a tie on, but no shirt. So somebody's got a memory of that somewhere. And I'm hoping it's on here tonight. But like I say, somebody's husband, ring resizing, tie, wearing with no shirt, just as a laugh, I think. He's just telling me, it's a bit of a giggle. He's talking about that. So if anybody knows, let us know, or let me know later. If we haven't got time now, just let me know.
Okay. Can you do a quick message, Philip?
Yeah. I've got a gentleman with me who had a stroke, and I want to give the name Stuart or Stu. Basically, what it is at this moment in time is he's really, really, really struggling, because basically he was a very, very fit, an active man, and now he's not. And what I've been made aware of is that he needs a bit of TLC, but he's been a little bit grumpy because he's not coping well with this situation. If you've got a Stuart or a Stu and somebody's had a stroke very, very recently who's struggling, just give them a little bit of TLC. Oh, that's my grandfather clock. So.
Whose bell was that?
Sorry?
Not mine.
Okay.
It's Phillips.
Phillips.
Did you not see the clock behind him?
Yeah, I've got a grandfather clock behind me.
All right. Okay.
I'm in very much into clocks.
Yes.
Nice.
You're an horologist.
Yes, and I'm going to take it down to Sotheby's and get £6 million for it, like I did Dow Boy. Bulls and horses.
Well, there we are. The evening is done. What a wonderful evening. Beautiful messages. Thank you, Peter. And thank you, Jed. And thank you, Philip. It was amazing just watching you. And what a wonderful way to make my return to screen. We're on tomorrow morning at 12 noon with Rodney Hewitt from Cleckheaton. And Rodney is a very spiritual man and a wonderful medium and speaker. So we're looking forward to that very much tomorrow morning. Vivian is saying thank you all for an enjoyable evening. And Demi Cummings, thank you. So I think there's just lots and lots of Linda Parry. How lovely to see Linda Parry. I think she's moved down south. She used to be in Newcastle, and she's moved down south. And lovely messages. Mia Thomas. Eva Burestrom, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to take you all off screen a minute, and I'll come back to you very shortly. So if you just bear with me, and we'll close the service. So there we are, this evening of mediumship. A really interesting and wonderful evening to spend with our spirit friends and to spend with all of you. And Spirit have taught me not to be talking out of turn tonight. Peter went and did exactly what I didn't expect him to do. But there we are. So good night. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 12 noon for the Sunday service with Rodney Hewitt. So that was a special evening of mediumship. So good night and God bless.